Good morning. We're going to jump right into our meditation. Oh, today's our Tuesday. We're going live, right, Zach? Okay. And we're going live today on our platform. Good morning. Sound like Juan Carlos?
Good morning.
Hope everybody's had a wonderful holidays and back into the rhythm of things. All month we're going over the subconscious, and actually here this week on Thursday we're going to be doing our seminar on the subconscious mind. And you guys get the opportunity, if you're in the area, to take part of that. And when we're going over the subconscious mind, we're talking about everything that you are. We are a mass of energy, and we operate on frequencies. We operate through vibration. Through the vibration of energy, we emit ideas and we attract things. And that's the way we work. Everything in life vibrates, nothing rests. The thing about consciousness as we see it, it is a recognizable idea of itself as it develops. When I say that, we are a recognizable idea of ourselves as we develop. We came into a physical body. We are spiritual beings. And as the spiritual being comes into a physical body, it immediately begins to look to understand. It look to identify. It look to comprehend. A little child observes its environment, observes the scene, what's happening, and it is absorbing everything around it. And it does this naturally, because the mind of the child at the point of conception only has the information that the environment is given it, and of course it has information in the DNA code, and that's the reason it's produced a body, and it looks like its family. But as it's growing up, it is relating itself to the people, the places, the year. All the information around it is becoming one with it. And as it thinks, all those group ideas are thinking. And it begins to create a type of analog from itself to itself, from itself to its environment, from the environment to itself. And this is how it groups ideas together, and it begins to individualize itself, begins to aspire, and begins to think, talk, and walk as they did. And even on its own course of life, it deviates from the original plan here and there, but it's rare that somebody really changes the plan. They more or less become what they were raised in. They more or less become what they were raised in. And we really don't want that. We truly want to grow and change and have more. We truly do, each and every one of us. And the reason we do is because our spiritual essence is always for more. It's always for more growth, always for more depth, always for more realization, and it wants to become more. From the beginning, you've always wanted to run faster, jump higher. You've always aspired to become so much more. And as we're doing this and we're going through life, a lot of times people have that word, they say life happens. Well, life didn't happen. This is a reoccurring method that happens in every person's lifetime. And that's that the minute they go beyond what they know how to do, they normally stay there. The minute an idea, a vision, things that are too far out of what it knows, eventually that individual stays stuck, stops growing, stops stretching. And what we're doing here is we're teaching people how to continue. This is normal what happens, completely normal. And if you have a completely normal operating brain, you're going to do just that. So it really doesn't matter where you're at, what family you were raised in, what economical structure you were born into. Each and every one of you has a limit. And it's when you get to the limit of those ideas, those programmings, those beliefs, this is where you're going to run up into the terror barrier. You're going to run up into your self-image. You're going to run up into all the things that they taught you, that you thought of as true, you've accepted as true. And the average individual stays there, changes a little bit, adapts a little bit, stretches a little bit, and really doesn't do much more. And this is why 97% of the population live the way they do. Not an accident. So you could take that 97% of the way the brain works, 97% of every economic structure on the planet, they all more or less stay within the functions of the environment and the family they were raised in. They stretch a little bit, 10, 15, maybe 20%, not much more, if that. And these statistics that I'm talking about are the norm. So we know this. We've been studying this for many years. I was once in places where change rarely happened. And the chances are you've been in places where change really rarely happens. I wanted to know more. I wanted to go beyond. I always knew that I was meant for more, that there was more to come. I always knew that my purpose in life was to do something for this time period and to leave something for this time period. I always knew that there was more to life than meets the eye. But I had to study, and I had to research, and I had to do the work. You see, everything in life does not come by accident. It's driven by a purpose, by a fundamental purpose. And when you begin to live life on purpose, to define life on purpose, for your purpose, your desires, your wants, you're going to get to this terror barrier. You're going to get to this thing that I'm talking about. You're going to get to the point where you don't know what to do next. And all this information that we brought to the Institute of the Mind, we've developed the Institute of the Mind, was designed to help people grow. I worked with the Procter & Gallagher Institute as well, and studied with them for the purpose of learning how to communicate this information effectively, teach people. The results that we've had are phenomenal. The results that the people that have taken the programs are phenomenal. Do they have to work on themselves? Of course they do. Do they have to develop themselves? Of course you do. You're going to resist developing yourself. Your program does not want to develop itself beyond what it knows how to do. And this is completely normal. But if you want to win, and you want to win royally, you got to change who you are. You don't have a choice. The choices are within what you've done. What you know has taken you as far as you can go. The truth is, you got to learn all of that, majority of it, so that you make room for the growth that you desire. You are a mass of energy, and you function on frequencies. This is why you get ideas. The minute you start to dream, desire, imagine, you're jumping on different frequencies. You're also pulling in different ideas. They're coming into you. Why? Because you went there. There's a place. And as you further develop your abilities and get a better understanding of how the mind works, you're going to surpass a lot of people. Because a lot of people are stuck. You're going to surpass a lot of people. Because a lot of people are stuck. The truth is, majority are stuck. So you come into these classes, and you come in here to develop yourself, you're doing something uncommon. And when you do things that are uncommon, you're going to begin to get uncommon results. Uncommon results lead to uncommon life. Uncommon life leads to fulfillment. What are you fulfilling? Your desires, your wants, your dreams, your visions, your aspirations. Everything else, everyone could not. Not because they just could not. They chose to stay stuck. That's a choice. Personal development is a choice. And everybody that does not choose to grow is actually choosing to stay right where they are. We're the only ones that can determine how far we grow, how far we develop. That's a sad thing. When you really look around, you know that there's so much potential. You know that there's so much power. And you watch everybody just, oh, that's enough. Oh, that's enough. My God, you got so much locked up into you. You could become anything. The truth is that you could become and do anything. So much potential. But we regulate ourselves. We just turn it off. Let our dreams fade away. If you're not like that, and if you no longer want to live that way, we can teach you how to grow. We can show you how to stay on track. But you're going to have to do the work. You will have to study every day. You will have to stretch. You will have to get out of your comfort zone. And all of this takes a bulletproof attitude, a strong mental attitude. But as you further develop, you'll do it. And you'll begin to see others at a different light. You begin to see the world in a different light. Your awareness will shift. Your desires will change. The demand for what you want in life will begin to expand. And the more you know about yourself and understand yourself, the different you will see yourself and the world around you. If this is the life you want to live, if you're tired of being stuck, if you're willing to go the distance, this is the place for you. We're going to go into a short video. It's a little bit longer video, but we're going to cut it off. And I'm going to bring Bob on the screen here. Bob is a mentor of mine. He's gone now. But he left his essence in time. We're going to take a look at this video. Again, take notes. The people that are here on purpose will change. You write down information to study it, observe it, and apply it. Everything begins to change.
Look at ourselves in truth. Let's take a look at ourselves. We're a mass of energy and we function on frequencies, okay? And if we take a look at ourselves in truth, if we were in a completely dark room in front of an infrared television camera, that's about how we'd see ourselves. As a glistening, radiating, gleaming form. Hold your hand up in front of you for a second. Just hold your hand up. And take a look at it. It seems solid, doesn't it? Feel it with your other hand. And it feels solid. The truth is, it's a mass of molecules in a very high speed of vibration. And if you take a look at the particle of energy, there's a greater space between the particle than there is in the size of the particle. Your hand, your whole body, is a mass of molecules in a very high speed of vibration. Now, the more we understand, I think the more of a risk taker we can become. Lack of understanding causes us to play it safe. As little kids, we're taught, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. That is not true. That never has been true. So bring this up again, Scott. Let's take a look. You're talking here about the law of vibration. And the law of vibration is an interesting concept. The law of vibration governs everything in the whole universe. There's no exceptions. The whole universe is the law of vibration affects everything. Nothing escapes it. Everything around us is vibrating. Everything's moving in one frequency or another. Well, the more we understand this, I think the better off we're going to be, and we're going to be in a better position to go where we want to do and do whatever it is we want to do. Now, if you come back, if you take a look at this, we'll say a frequency is a level of vibration. And there's an infinite number of frequencies. There is no end to it. Every frequency is hooked up to the one above and the one below. Now, I think it's important we understand this because each level of vibration is connected to the one above and the one below. Thanks, Scott. Now look at, they're all hooked together like the colors of a rainbow. If we can understand that in depth, whatever we want, we can get connected to it by getting on the same vibration. Think of this for a moment. Let's suppose you're in Singapore. Now, I have people in Singapore, I've got their number on my phone. So I could pull their number up, hit send, and bang, like that, I would have them on the other end of the line. We would both be on the same frequency. Time and space is sort of out of the game now. So it's like we're sitting beside each other because we're on the same frequency. Well, as we start to understand this, I think we eliminate the fear of the risk. Now, is there a risk? There is a risk because we're not really good at this, because we haven't done it very often. But the more we do it, the better we're going to get, and the better we're at it, the better we get at it, the more we're eliminating the risk. So put it back up, Scott. Let's look. Okay? Now, there's the X. Let's say that represents where you are. That represents where you are. Okay? Take an honest look at where you are in your life. Take a real good look at where you are in your life, and you're going to see how you got there. Okay? Now let's bring the lines up, and we'll get rid of the writing for a moment. And let's let those lines represent levels of vibration. We could also let them be representative of levels of conscious awareness. So each level, if we go back, as we raised our level of awareness, our whole world began to change. Now, let's say we left school, then we got a job, then we got another job, then we met someone, and on it goes. we're continually raising our level of consciousness until we are at where the X is right now. That's where we are. And that represents where you and I are right at this moment. Now, we're not satisfied with being there because we are spiritual beings and spirit's always for expansion and fuller expression. So we say, that's where I want to go. Now, the problem is we don't know how to get there. And what we're doing is looking off into the dark. Is it all dark? It is as far as we're concerned because our consciousness ends at that line. Our conscious awareness ends at the line where our X is. That represents where we are. Now, we want to get there. We want to get to that new level. And because we don't know how, we generally let it fade. But we don't want to do that.
Now, this is what we're talking about earlier. Power of the subconscious mind. When you don't understand the mind, you don't understand how you work, nor do you understand how to play the game of life. Look around you. Truly look around you. How many people do you see that know how to play the game of life? Have they changed? Ask them how to change. They couldn't tell you. They may be getting better, a little bit better, or a little bit better, but not a major change. They may be happier, feel a little bit better about themselves, but when it comes to living the life they really desire, they're not there yet. Ask each and every person around you about their goals. Ask them how come they haven't stopped. They haven't continued to grow. They haven't continued to set bigger goals. Ask them. Majority will say, I don't know. Take an honest look at everyone around you and ask them, when did they stop growing? When did they stop stretching and why? You're going to begin to see and look at confusion. They're going to probably even be confused because they probably haven't really thought about it. If the truth is that we could have been anything, why did you stop? If the truth is you could have had anything, why did you stop? Why did you not go after anything? Why did you not go after having everything? See, majority of you didn't even know you were stuck till right now. The psychology behind the mind and our behavior is so misunderstood. I've spoken to psychologists with doctors, and they have no clue what they're talking about. Doctorates, and they don't know what they're talking about. They got a little idea about it, but they don't know what the mind is and how it operates. We've worked with psychologists and amplified what they knew, helped them get a better understanding. The mind is so complex. It is the largest part of our world, and yet we know so little about it. So many of you didn't know you were stuck. Ask your family members, why did you stop growing? Why did you stop developing yourself? And they'll probably become a little baffled and wonder, I don't know. This is normal. The psychology behind your mind will normally protect itself so well that you didn't even know you stopped. You didn't even know that you were holding yourself back. You could be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 90 years old into this thing and begin to barely figure out that my own mind played a trick on me. And this is true. You weren't even aware. How can you break out of a prison you didn't even know you were in? Well, it's time to be done with that. Your mind works with fixed ideas, and that's all it wants to work with. And it's willing to stretch a little bit at a time. But if it's something that's way too far out there, normally your own mind, your own brain tunes it out for you. It tunes it out for you. You're not even aware. You're not even aware. All the opportunities that are all around you, you're not even aware of them. You are not supposed to be aware of them. You know how many bits of information is around us all day long? But if you're not on that frequency, you don't get those ideas. Do you know that all ideas, all information is evenly present? But you don't get those ideas. You get the ideas that you're supposed to think about. That wasn't good enough for me. I began to work on myself and develop myself, and I started to get ideas, pluck ideas from the same space that other people were at, and they didn't get them. I wasn't any different than they were. But I was willing to learn the information I needed to become who I wanted to be. I could be sitting next to somebody and they didn't get the idea that I had. They'd be sitting right next to each other. And now it, bam. And now it, bam. I was not any better than them. We get what we're supposed to get. We receive ideas that are in harmony with what we're thinking about. Now, how did I start to become different? Think differently? Channel information differently? I was studying this information. The information changed my life. The programs changed my life. The books changed my life. Now, before I met the Procter & Gallagher Institute, before I met Bob, yes, I was already changing because I was studying this old information. I was already developing myself. I was already in the process of research and development of the mind. How did I go there? How did I get the ideas to do that? The desire for more. How did I pick up the right books? The desire to be more than what I was. How did I pick up the right information, the right books, meet with the right people? How did all this happen? The desire to be more than what I was. I remember inviting people to come study and learn some of the information that I was studying. They didn't want to get up at 4 a.m. 5? They didn't want to get up at 5. 6? And they didn't want to get up at 6. They didn't want to get up any earlier to change their life, to change the way that they think. They didn't believe the information that I had would change their life. They didn't believe, at the end of it, they didn't believe that they could change. If you're looking at this and you're sitting on the other side of this screen, you're not going to wonder if I can do it. You already see that I've done it. The truth is, you're going to wonder if you can do it. You're going to wonder if it's possible for you. And just like those people that I invited then, I'm inviting you. I can go back and find those same people. And they're more or less where they were supposed to be, because they were not willing to invest in themselves. They were not willing to change themselves. I can go back and find people that I've worked with and give them a book. And they read the book, but they were not willing to do what the book said. You've got to be willing to do the work. Not just study it, but apply it. You got to apply what the lessons are telling you. Goals are not to get, they're to grow. And if you're not in setting a goal and you're not working towards a goal beyond what you know how to do, you've gone as far as you can go. The lessons are learned through the application of what you're learning. The lessons are learned through the application of what you've learned. I would study, and I would read, and then I was working with a vision and a goal. And because I was studying, reading, and then I was working with a goal, and I was putting these two together, what I'm studying, reading, and my goal, and I'm putting it together and applying what I'm learning with a goal, I began to change my life. And not just a little bit. And not just 10, 15, 20%. A 1,000%. 100% here. 300% there. 600% there. Every goal that I was setting and every move that I was making, I was earning the new life. I was earning the wisdom. The understanding came through the application. And the wisdom came through the understanding. This is how we change. You see, you can only be as wise as what you were willing to understand. And understand means do. You're not any wiser if you didn't understand it. You are not any wiser unless you understood it. And you didn't understand it unless you applied it. Understanding is the doing part of your personality. And you can pick up as many books as you want. It doesn't matter. Because you are not willing to understand the book. Understanding comes only through the application of the information. You read that book. And you don't apply what the book said. It doesn't matter. You can go take a test maybe, and you can get a grade on it. That's about it. Listen to that again. Maybe you could take a test. And get a grade on it. But that's as far as you're going to get. This is the misconception of knowing and doing. Maybe you can talk about it intellectually in a group, a crowd, at a restaurant. You sound intellectual. You didn't apply it. Intelligence is only concerned with understanding. If you can apply what you know, if you cannot go beyond the memory of it, if you cannot go beyond talking about it, then you don't know it. You simply know about it at a distance. But that's not what you want. That's not what you're here for. You want to know it through the experience of it. You're going to have to set goals. I want you to take a look at the programs that we're doing. I want you to take a look at your life and what you've been doing. And is this truly the way you want to live? I don't know how many years you have right now left in you, and nobody really knows. We're here 1 minute, gone the next. But I can guarantee you one thing. If you're willing to bet on yourself, to change yourself, you're willing to go through this process, goal setting and achieving, And through the learning of and understanding of this information, you will become a winner and continually win your life back, continually expand your consciousness. For me, winning and a winner, winning, you're never a winner. The race never ends until you're off to another place. We're always winning. What are we winning? You can actually decide what you want to win in life, how you want to win, the direction of the winnings that you want to have in life. And we don't keep any of it, but we do get to experience it. We're mere custodians in this lifetime. You don't keep anything. You buy the land really belongs to somebody else. You buy the land, you just can only temporarily use it. Then you'll pass it along to someone else. Everything in life is borrowed. The time, the experiences, the money, the relationships, everything was just borrowed. It's just temporary. But you get to decide. And you get to decide exactly how you want to experience it. Life is full, filled with everything you could ever want. And everything that you could ever have was well within your grasp. Take a look at what we're doing. Again, this Wednesday, we're having Spanish seminar. Thursday, we are having our English seminar. I'm inviting you guys to get involved in yourself, change yourself, and do something this year. We're coming to the end of the year. You're doing a Christmas presents and whatnot. Give something to a family member that's going to actually last, that'll change somebody. If you're going to create another New Year expectation, why don't you make it a guarantee? Why don't you make it next year an actual reality? Thank you guys, and everybody have a wonderful day.